Most people who research the poor are middle class, and we bring our assumptions with us. This creates all sorts of problems for studies of poverty, because usually those assumptions don't apply. And the history of policymaking is rife with examples of policy designers who got it wrong because they didn't know anything about poor people. In order to have good policy, you have to have good, in-depth, on-the-ground, get your hands dirty research. We found only about 500,000 households living on less than $2 per person per day in the year just prior to welfare reform. But today, we have about 1.5 million adults and roughly 3 million children. 3 million children at any given time in this country living on virtually no income.
When my dad left, we were struggling a lot because my mom is disabled and she can't get a job to help to pay for the bills, get food.
I remember sitting at the gas station, she's putting like 50 cents in the gas tank, and I'm like, I see other people, they're putting $20 in. Like, why are you doing that, Mom? And I asked her one day, I'm like, why do you put so little in? She's like, I don't have money to get to work.
We couldn't afford the house that we were living in with before Dad left anymore, so I think the bank took the house, and so we had to move, and then we moved again. I think in the course of 4 or 5 years, we moved in like 7 different houses or something crazy like that.
Does poverty matter? Absolutely. When you are a child who lives in abject poverty and you are coming to school every day without being fed a healthy breakfast, without being put to bed the night before at a decent hour, maybe the electricity in your house got shut off, you have a cavity in your tooth the size of a penny. I mean, these things matter. It makes it harder for kids to come to school and learn every day. It makes it harder for the teachers to teach. There's no question about that.
There was nights where we didn't have anything to put in our stomachs.
Being a student in middle school in Boston public school system was pretty rough. The school looked more like a prison than a school. We had 40 students in one class. We had one book for every 3 students. I remember spending most of my times in the hallways running around not engaging in any type of material. And then I remember being at my middle school graduation and thinking, how did I even get here? I don't deserve this. I didn't work for it. And at that moment, I realized they don't care about me. They're pushing me out. So if matters couldn't get even worse, it was in 8th grade when I lost my first friend to street violence. This happened just blocks away from my school. Growing up in the city of Boston, you had more liquor stores than grocery stores, more drug dealers than college graduates, and more funerals than weddings. Most will believe that behavior is learned, and I can honestly say that was the case for me. I became what I seen every day. I became a product of my environment.
So if you look at social mobility rates in this country, they are actually near the bottom internationally, which means that if you are a child born into poverty in this country, the likelihood that you will ever escape poverty is not good. What we know is that the best tool that we have to fight intergenerational poverty and break that cycle of poverty is education. It's not a particular social program or this or that. It is making sure that that kid gets a high-quality education.
It's a lot of violence, ain't no justice in my community. I wish there was, for me, better things for us to do instead of us getting in so much trouble.
Some suggestions that I have in regards to the adults serving our youth justice system would be, don't look down on them because of how they might seem or how they appear to you. Actually try to be a part of our lives and show us that we are the future and we are able to make a difference.
Give youth and members of the community a voice. They are the experts. They're the ones living in these situations. Give them leadership skills and the tools to take responsibility and advocate for change in their community, in their lives, in this nation, and in the world, so that we can have less of these and more of these.
Something that I would change in my community and my peers around me would be to have our students knowing that you can do whatever you want to do. As long as you're consistent, and you have a mindset of opportunity, possibilities, you can be anything you want to be.
It's really about creating an opportunity structure for kids to succeed. That the business that we're all in is not child welfare, it's not education, right? It's not probation, it's human development. You are in the human development business. Your charge is to take people from where you find them and create a pathway for where they want to go. Now, you may call yourself a teacher, you may call yourself a child welfare worker, you may call yourself an enrollment technician, but you are in the development business. And if you fail to realize that, I think you underestimate the importance that you have in the life of others.
What if they had a sense that they had a brighter economic future? What if they thought that by their labor they could escape poverty? Might it be the case that they would make different and better decisions about their family lives if their economic lives had some hope?